Here's Chelsea Lodato in the last 50 feet, and you can say hello to the history books. Chelsea Lodato of Old Bridge High School has just set a new record in the 800 with a time of 2 minutes 15 and 3/10 of a second, a new Middlesex County record.
What is your definition of a champion? Chelsea Lodato entered Old Bridge High School and joined the track program. In her freshman year, Chelsea ran the 200 and the 400. In the 400, she finished the season with a personal best, 63 seconds.
Well, Chelsea's freshman year, she came in. She's a very enthusiastic kid, a good track runner. She didn't run cross country her freshman year. She was a soccer player her freshman and sophomore years. But she came into the track program and she was just, worked really hard.
Chelsea entered her sophomore year and started making huge strides, especially in the 400.
Chelsea's sophomore year is where we really kind of saw, quantum leaps being taken. She didn't run cross country her sophomore year, but the winter track season, she went from a 63 to running, a 60, a high 59, which is a big difference. Once you get under 60 on the girls' side, that's pretty good in the 400.
After Chelsea's track season sophomore year, Coach Stephen Gajewski sat down with Chelsea and her father and talked about Chelsea running cross country in the fall instead of playing soccer.
We sat down and spoke, and we kind of came to a decision that it would probably be beneficial for her to run cross country.
So Chelsea was told, you're not going to race cross country your junior year, but use the cross country season to prepare for the upcoming track season.
Once we started training seriously at the end of the summer, we said, you know what, Chelsea, you are going to race. You're going to be really good at racing.
Now, Chelsea has just about every cross-country record in Old Bridge High School, including a 1906 at Thompson Park and being invited to the Meet of Champions. The track season quickly approached, and Chelsea set her own personal record, a school record, and a county record in the 800 at a time of 2 minutes and 15 seconds. During the same year, Chelsea participated in the sprint medley with Jill Grant, Sam Bartelli, and Nina Videnziali, and qualified for the Nike Nationals in Boston. Chelsea took the baton in the sprint medley to run her part, the 800, and finished with a time of 2 minutes and 13 seconds, and earned her medley team the honor of Nike All-Americans.
We won that heat by, going away, and we were way out front. We actually finished 5th overall. We beat all but, 4 of the teams in the first heat. We beat, and we ended up with the 7th or 8th fastest time in the country last year in the sprint medley.
Senior year came around, running the 800 at the Meet of Champions, where the best runners in the state compete. Chelsea ran a 2:14 and placed 3rd, a top 10 finish in the country, the 3rd fastest time in the state of New Jersey, and set the school record in the mile. During the middle of the season, Coach Gajewski took Chelsea and a few of her teammates to the New York City Armory, and instead of setting records in the 800, which we already knew she could do, why not switch it up?
I told her she could either run a 4 or she could run a mile. She could pick, run whichever one she prefer, and see if she could possibly break the school record. So she decided to run the mile. It was the first mile she ran all year. She went out, ran a 5:13, and broke the school record.
Running one race in between the championship races goes to show the testament to what kind of runner she actually is. The work ethic of Chelsea Lodato is unexplainable.
The ability to practice and work harder than other people do. That in itself is something special. When we, have practice and workouts, Chelsea is a tireless worker and can really do things in practice and work harder and longer than a lot of other athletes can, and that allows her, to compete at a higher level because she's just trained her body and mentally she knows what it feels like, to compete and to work really hard.
Holding cross-country records, Thompson Park, Homedale Park, Warren Echo Park, the Manhattan Invitational, the mile, the 800, the 1600, the 4x4, and the sprint medley, those are the records of Chelsea Lodato. And then there's one unique factor that Coach Gajewski is honestly going to miss.
And it was always fun, in cross country to be standing waiting by the edge of the woods and to see that blonde hair, ponytail bobbing up and down as she was at the front of the pack running out of the woods, or in track to see her, toward the front.
Chelsea has now officially accepted to attend and run track at Bucknell University. So, the final question is, how do you define a champion? Is it measured by success in their respective sport? Well, if it is, the answer comes in the form of a name, and she goes by Miss Chelsea Lodato.